Close your eyes. Imagine a city, but not one built for the sun. A city cradled by the ocean, hidden beneath the waves. This is Kreminos. It's a place that feels strangely familiar. Walk its streets and you might believe you've stepped into New York, then Tokyo, then perhaps Prague. Skyscrapers pierce an artificial sky, a gentle hum of 30 million lives echoing around you. Stand in the penthouse suite on First Street, and a breathtaking paradox unfolds. The Eiffel Tower and the Empire State Building, both visible at once. Kreminos isn't just a city. It's a mosaic of the world's most beloved landmarks, a collection of dreams sculpted into reality. But look up. Don't search for the lazy drift of clouds, the gathering storm. There are no umbrellas needed here, no need for a jacket. Kreminos exists in perpetual twilight, a carefully orchestrated balance of light and temperature. Founded in 2300, it's a testament to human ingenuity, voted the world's most beautiful vacation destination for 45 years running. They named it Kreminos, from the ancient Greek word for hidden, a secret world thriving beneath the surface. Imagine a life lived entirely within this glass sphere, a life shielded from the natural rhythms of the world. Above, it begs the question, doesn't it? What is lost when we seek to control everything? What is gained? John was born into this world. His parents, pioneers, had chosen a life on the ocean floor off the coast of Madagascar. He grew up hearing stories of a world bathed in sunlight, of vast landscapes like Yellowstone and the Grand Canyon. As a child, he pleaded to visit America. But something shifted as he grew older. He'd seen enough of the world through screens, through stories, to realize that Kreminos was beautiful in its own right. It was his world. For almost 50 years, John was a window cleaner. Every morning, a list arrived, detailing which sections of the massive glass dome needed his attention. He knew every nook and cranny of Kreminos, every hidden alleyway. He'd driven the perimeter of the dome 1,000 times, a silent guardian of this underwater paradise. He knew where to find the most authentic New York pizza, and which Tokyo rooftop offered the best view of the daily herring migration. It wasn't just a job, it was a connection. A chance to meet the people who built this world, to learn fragments of their languages, to understand their stories. And now retirement loomed. 6 months stood between him and the sandy beaches of Little Lisbon, the gentle murmur of the Melbourne district. After a lifetime spent looking through the glass, he longed to feel the sand between his toes, to listen to the cries of the seagulls, to simply be within the scenes he'd so diligently maintained. He was tasked with training his replacement, passing on the knowledge accumulated over decades. The alarm buzzed at 5:00 a.m. as it always did. He hit snooze twice, relishing the final moments of darkness. When he finally rose, the artificial dawn hadn't yet begun. But the neon glow from the Chicago-inspired district below cast a gentle light into his small apartment. He lived in a replica of Chicago, where giant fans mimicked the feel of a natural breeze, a rare sensation in Kreminos. Each district possessed its own simulated weather: synthetic snow in Second Stockholm, fabricated rain showers in Second Seoul. He poured himself a bowl of oats from Canada, added milk from a local farm near New Cairo, and sprinkled it with seaweed gathered by the city's fishermen. A cold shower jolted him awake. He donned his work uniform, worn denim overalls with his name stitched onto the chest. As he descended in the elevator, the artificial lights began to bloom across the city, slowly extinguishing the street lamps. It was quiet, save for the hum of the occasional taxi. He glanced upward, toward the subtle glow of the real sun, filtering through the water, painting everything a soft green. He dreamed of a submarine trip to London. Friends who'd visited the surface world urged him to save his money, to experience the underwater London. But he felt a pull, a need to see the original, to stand beneath a real sky, to see the Eiffel Tower and Empire State Building without the intervention of glass. He wanted to compare, to contrast, to truly understand the world he'd only known through imitation. His truck, filled with cleaning supplies, awaited him in the parking garage. He drove through Cape Town, then Prague toward Paris. The radio played the morning news, the language shifting with each district he passed. He turned off near Little Lisbon, a part of the city he particularly loved. It felt kinder, more relaxed. Built around an artificial harbor, it ended abruptly at the glass dome, where the ocean began. There was no water at the beach, only sand meeting glass, a constant reminder of the world beyond. He cruised slowly, windows down, past cobblestone streets and white buildings with bright red and orange roofs. Shopkeepers swept sand from their doorways, recognizing him with warm smiles. He parked in front of his favorite cafe. Bolus Bomdaya, the owner, a woman named Fatima, greeted him, placing a tiny espresso cup beneath the machine. She moved from Lagos, Nigeria, a decade ago, her husband working on the city's western expansion. Rumors swirled about the new district, Sao Paulo, perhaps, or Bogotá. He'd secretly hoped for Buenos Aires, after seeing pictures in a magazine. He spent half an hour with Fatima, reading the local newspaper. An article speculated about the new development, Taipei, Mexico City, the possibilities endless. A group of children kicked a soccer ball nearby, their laughter echoing in Portuguese. It reminded him of his own childhood, playing with Leonardo and Andrea in second Rome. After breakfast, he drove to the edge of Little Lisbon, where a handful of results stood next to the beach. He walked barefoot to the glass, inspecting it for damage. It was 3 feet thick, a barrier against the immense pressure of the ocean. He'd found only one crack in 50 years, and it hadn't even gone all the way through. By the time the artificial lights reached their peak, he'd finished the first section. As he worked on the second, a shadow fell over him. He turned to see a boy, no older than 16, with dark chocolate skin and curly black hair. He looked familiar. "Are you my new assistant?" John asked. The boy nodded, extending a hand. His name was Tyre, and he was homeschooled, recently moved from Porto. His parents wanted him to work in the mornings, to learn alongside them in the evenings. He was tall, almost 6 feet, with a shy demeanor that reminded John of his younger self. John asked about school. Tyre explained his parents' decision. He'd struggled to make friends before, but he hoped this job would be different. John's work, he realized, put him in contact with people from all over the city. John smiled. He'd known the same thing, the same loneliness, the same hope. He began explaining the importance of inspecting the glass for cracks, demonstrating how to use a flashlight to detect even the smallest imperfections. Tyre listened intently, absorbing every detail. They worked throughout the morning, cleaning and inspecting. The beach filled with people, a vibrant tapestry of languages and laughter. Tyre shadowed John, watching his every move. At lunchtime, John asked about Portugal. Tyre's eyes lit up. He described Porto as the most beautiful city in the world, a place everyone should visit. "What do you think of it here?" John asked. Tyne hesitated. "I'm not sure yet," he admitted. "It's nice, but being underwater," John laughed, picking up a stone and tossing it harmlessly against the glass. 3 feet of glass between us and the ocean," he said. "We're probably safer down here than people are up there." A woman approached them, carrying a basket. She introduced herself as Tyre's mother. She offered John coffee, freshly grilled sardines, and homemade bread. She asked how her son was doing. John assured her he was a hard worker. She seemed relieved but worried nonetheless. John recounted the lightning joke. He described the beauty of Creminos, the unique experience of living beneath the waves. After lunch, they resumed their work. As they cleaned, a woman walked towards them carrying a basket. She introduced herself as Tyre's mother before taking out a thermos of coffee, freshly grilled sardines, and homemade bread from the basket. She asked John how her son was doing so far. John told her that her son seemed like a hard worker and that he was sure that he would do a fine job. The woman nodded at this and patted her son on his arm. She asked John how long he'd been in the city for, and John told her that he hadn't left since he was born. The woman's eyes widened, and she muttered something to herself in Portuguese. She seemed to have the same worries about the underwater city as her son. But John assured her that it was perfectly safe. He even made the lightning joke again, before asking her to describe Porto to him. She seemed very excited to talk about her home. Even though she hadn't been gone long, the way she talked about it with passion hinted that she missed it a great deal. She talked about wine tasting along the Douro River on warm summer nights. There were beautiful restaurants everywhere that sold fresh ham and cheese. She described the beautiful red tile roofs that you could see around the city, as she pointed to the results next to them built in a similar style. She finished by telling John that he hadn't truly lived till he had walked across the Dom Louis Bridge that had one of the most amazing views in the city, if not all of Europe. John agreed that he would like to see Porto someday, before describing all the beautiful things about his own city. Nighttime walks along the Han River in Second Seoul. The smell of freshly brewed coffee in the Parisian district. The spectacular sight of a full-grown humpback whale swimming by. Suddenly, a massive octopus, the size of a school bus, appeared on the glass. Its tentacles, thick as John's legs, clung to the surface, regarding them with what seemed like boredom. Tyre laughed. "We have to remove that, right?" he joked. John chuckled. "That's our job." They drove to New York to the submarine house. After donning scuba gear, they entered the airlock, descending into the silent blue world. The current gently pulled them along, past schools of shimmering fish, past coral reefs teeming with life. A sea turtle glided past, its ancient eyes meeting John's. He felt a sense of peace, a profound connection to something larger than himself. It was a feeling he'd always cherished. They reached the octopus, and John handed Tyre the squeegee. He watched as the boy meticulously cleaned the glass, his movements precise and careful. As they worked, John noticed Tyre's wonder, his awe at the underwater world. He remembered that feeling, that sense of discovery. He pointed out the glowing fish, the playful dolphins, the intricate coral. He showed him the beauty that he'd come to know so well. They swam to the top of the dome, looking down on Creminos. From this vantage point, the city was a breathtaking spectacle, a testament to human ingenuity and collaboration. He pointed out London, Beijing, Madrid, Rome, each district a perfect replica of its namesake. He spoke of the diverse languages, the exotic smells, the vibrant cultures that coexisted within this underwater haven. He told Tyre that he had never left this city, but that in his heart he had traveled the world. Tyre squeezed John's shoulder. "It's beautiful," he said, his voice muffled by his mask. John smiled. He knew then that the city was in good hands. He saw in Tyre a reflection of his younger self, a yearning for knowledge, a willingness to embrace the unknown. As they ascended, John thought about his retirement. He'd planned a submarine trip to London, but now he wasn't so sure. Perhaps Creminos was enough. Perhaps the world he needed was right here, beneath the waves. He realized that the true adventure wasn't about where you went, but how you saw the world. The artificial sunlight dimmed, casting a warm, golden glow across the city. John drove back through Manhattan, stopping at the London district. He bought a ticket for the London Eye, riding to the top as the lights of Creminos began to bloom. He gazed out at the underwater panorama, a feeling of contentment washing over him. He knew, with a certainty that settled deep within his bones, that Creminos wasn't just a city. It was a possibility. A dream realized. A hidden world waiting to be discovered. And it was home,